Today we're going to look at some of the more advanced features of Pic Collage. So you were asked to take a selfie and find 4 other pictures of things you like. So what I'm going to do is I chose grid from the list, and then I am going to choose some of my pictures that I have here. Upper right hand corner is going to tell you how many pictures you have, and you're going to just tap that check mark to have that be accepted. So I'm just using some pictures that I have in my file. Along the bottom, you're going to see a variety of different layouts, and you can just choose what you want, but choose what fits your pictures. So depending upon whether you have portrait or landscape pictures, you'll want to choose what works best for you. A couple things to know about this. One, if a picture is kind of cut off, you can pinch pictures. So you can go up here and pinch. You can even rotate pictures when they're in a grid, or you can zoom in on them. So maybe if you wanted something specific, you can do that. Also, I'm going to look at the size down here on the bottom, and when you choose the size, you do want that to be a full screen here. So if yours is not a full screen, you'll want to do that. And then you can do the little check mark. And then the other thing I asked you to do was to put your name on there so you can easily add text from that point. And with the text, the T is your font, and this next little drop there is your color of your font, and then this is the color of the background of the font. So you can choose something from there. So that's quickly how you do a grid. This time I want to choose freestyle, which is the one in the middle. When I choose my freestyle, it'll say tap to add pictures, and then I can go in my photos and find any of my pictures that I have to add. Now in this, with freestyle, it's just what it says, that it gives you a little more freedom. But again, you can fill up the spaces by moving these around and pinching to make them bigger or smaller so that they fill up your page a little bit more. And if you double tap on a picture, you get some effects that come up. So I want to quickly go through those. So if I click the yellow circle that says effects, and then I look at the bottom, there are different effects that I can do for this particular picture. So first of all, there are some different color schemes that you can do by choosing across the bottom. There are also overlays. So an overlay means that if I wanted to, for example, have this kind of a circular with a dark edge, I could do that, and then I could apply that part of it. So again, that's another way of changing the way the picture looks. I can also add a frame to a picture. So basically, that means some kind of a border that I would add onto it. I can also add the adjusting of the color. So maybe if this is not a great picture because it's black and white, but if you had something that was kind of dark, you could play with that a little bit more. Orientation just means that if you wanted to flip it. So if you notice in my case up here, I have Lincoln up here, and he's kind of looking off the page, and really that's not recommended. So if I flip around so he's going to look on the page, that's a better choice. You can do that with some of your pictures as well. Splash, what that allows you to do, again, not a great choice for my particular picture here, but I can pick something off the picture if I do something in the picture, and I could make that colored. So I think you've seen those before, where you have a colored flower and then the rest of the picture is black and white, or it's a black and white picture and then somebody's blue eyes are colored. Those are examples of what the splash would be like. You can crop a photo if you need to. So maybe if you only want part of the picture, you can do that. You can draw on a picture if you want to. Focus, just basically that means if you want one part of the picture to be more in focus and the rest of it to be more blurry, you can do that. Enhance and there's some different ways you can do that as well based on these different, if you're shooting food or scenery or those kinds of things. The whiteness comes from if you wanted to try to whiten somebody's teeth, and this is not real distinct, so you'd have to really work at that a little bit to make a difference. And the same with a blemish. That can be, for example, on your selfie, if you have a little dot on your face and you want to try to remove that, you can use that with the blemish, and sometimes that works better than others. So all of those are different effects for a picture. I'm going to ask you to do at least one of those. If I double tap on a different picture and I do cutout, I have some choices with cutout. So for example, the very first one on the bottom is scissors. So if I wanted to, if I chose my scissors, and I could kind of roughly go around my penguin here, and I could cut out the background for it. This isn't going to be great, but I'll just kind of show you that. And then if I like it, I could cut that out and put that as part of my picture if I wanted to. Now I'm going to come back to my Lincoln for just a minute, because this is kind of a fun thing. If I went around Lincoln's head and then I cut that out, and then I added Lincoln's picture in again. So I have Lincoln's picture on here, and then I move this head on top of it, but then I make it bigger. So you've seen those before, that those are kind of fun. So that's a way that you can use cutout as an example. Other cutouts that are on here, you can cut out a specific shape, or if I keep going, there's different frames, and if I keep going all the way across, I can even do something like a heart on there. So that's just a way that you use cutouts. Obviously, you can duplicate pictures, you can arrange the pictures, making them front or back. You could put a picture as a background if you wanted to. We already talked about borders. So those are all things that you can do with pictures. Do want to remind you too about text again. There are stickers on here. I'm going to ask that you limit to one sticker if you choose to do that. And then we also have the doodle option. So maybe, for example, if you wanted to draw something on here, or if you wanted to do some kind of connectors from one to the other, you could do that to kind of enhance as well. So those are all some additional features that you can do in your Pic Collage. Now, when you are done, obviously you're going to use the done that's on top here, and then you want to make sure that you save to library. This is important, save to library. That is going to go into your photos, and then when you go to Google Classroom and you turn in, you're going to use that little plus sign, and you're going to go out to your photos and find this collage that you just made and turn that into me. Okay. The assignment will give you specific directions. The directions say that you have to have your selfie and at least 4 other pictures. You have to have at least one effect and at least one cutout. And if you are choosing to use stickers, there's a maximum of 1 sticker, and you have to have your name somewhere on here. So this is just a quick example here, not a great one. I wouldn't be proud to turn this one in, but just wanted to show you a few things that are available on Pic Collage.